it's your boy Goon here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of content that was asked for via the viewers. So the last couple weeks I've been having some guys come through stream and message me personally in my Discord asking about money runs and how I'm able to stay up on my money. So today I'm going to be showing you guys that. Now this is something I still do today as an experienced player when I'm having bad days and I'm just getting shredded everywhere. I still revert back to this to make my money and to stay, you know, above 2 million rubles roughly. This is a great, for all levels, this is a great money-making run. And it all kind of depends on where exactly you spawn. What I'm going to be showing you guys today is my Interchange Cache runs. There are a ton of caches in Interchange, and most players spawn into that map to go inside the mall and get tech stuff, i.e. GPUs, cables, caps, wires, CPU fans, RAM. They all go inside of the mall for that. So while those players are inside the mall doing their hustle and getting their hustle on in there, we have all these caches that are on the outskirts of the map that don't really get hit until scavs spawn in. So that's going to be the route. We're going to go over all those caches today in Interchange and show you guys the caches so that you guys can start making your own money. This is especially kind of for Poison Thorn. Big shout out to my buddy Poison Thorn. He rolls through stream all the time, and he's been asking more than anybody, so I'm really kind of pushing this content out for him. But I really hope that everybody gets use out of this video and goes and makes some mad cash in Interchange. Anyway, without further ado, we are going to shrivel this and see where we spawned in Interchange. It looks like we got a Ultra Mall spawn right in front and center of the map. So, excuse me, front center of the map. Front center of the mall, which is going to be middle of the map, on the west side of the map. Yep, west side of the map. So we're going to start off here. Now, if you guys spawn somewhere else, obviously make your run, you know, according to where you spawn. However, we're going to make this run off of this spawn and show you all of the Interchange caches. Now, this, again, being said, is a great way for all level players to get in, get some money, and get out alive. It is low risk. You do run into very few players. You run into scavs out here in that old gas, but you do run into very few players on this run. So those newer guys, this is a highly recommended run for your money to stay up. It'll keep you safe. It'll keep you away from crazy firefight and chads like me. And, you know, you'll be making rubles. It's kind of a big deal. It is Tarkov. You want your rubles. So first and foremost, we're going to come out back here over this little blue wall that has been fallen down. And the easiest way to find this one is just kind of go right when you cross that fence, angle yourself straight toward these two little tiny trees, but go to the first tree to the right of those. So you're going to see that tree, and then it's about 5 feet to the right of that in this little bunch of trees. It's way easier to find than some of the other ones. So this is going to be your first cache to look in for some money. These are, I'm not sure how these are going to react to like actual in-game raids because I'm in offline mode right now. Just to show you guys these really quick. But I do know, me personally, I've gotten everything from GPUs to slicks to hex grids to helixes and all that stuff out of these caches. So really it's going to depend on your luck. With all that being said, we're going to keep wrapping. Once you hit that first cache, just stay on the dirt grass area until you get over here to these bunch of trees. Now, I usually use this little rubble pile as a dignifier. You're going to be really close to that rubble pile. Come to the first group of trees next to that rubble pile, and just look around the base of these 3 trees, the bigger ones. You will find it. Hold on. Hold on. Goon messed up. Goon messed up. You should find it right here, right? Uh-oh. So like I said, there it is. It's right here. It's by the base of these trees, close to that rubble pile. So it is a little bit trickier to find. At nighttime, it's lit up, like it's slightly lit up for some reason, and they're easier to find. So if you guys are struggling to find them or get the locations down, do a night raid really quick, and just run through, and you'll like see them. Those Jaeger Caches is what they're called. Those small blue circles with a black lid. Those are called Jaeger Caches. And those are easier to see at night sometimes, especially that one that we just got back there next to that tree in the grass. This next one is going to be at this huge rubble pile back on the way toward railway exit. It's going to be not the one with the big orange tank, but the 2 rock. Oh, I guess they all have orange tanks. Ignore that. So the 2 huge rubble piles that are next to each other where it comes down, and the V is going to be where this other cache is, and that has some more good loot. Now, this next cache, me and my buddies refer to as T-Rex cache because the T-Rex points you to it. Once you hit that cache, you're just going to come up to this railway, look at that T-Rex, look at the direction he's looking, and go to the first bush closest to the wall past this T-Rex. Now, this is why we call it T-Rex Cache, because that T-Rex is the identifier for it. So not that one, the one close to the wall. You're just going to run down here, and you will see this other wooden cache. And if you carry on after hitting that cache up the wall toward this next rubble pile, you will find another cache right up here. That's going to be at the base of the rubble pile furthest from the exfil. So that's going to be right here. Go ahead and get your loot out of that guy. And we are going to move on now. We're going to do a little bit of a cut straight for the next one. The next one is going to be actually underneath of these bridges, way off in the distance. So we're going to beeline it straight there with the sprint, since we don't have to really worry about too much about major terrain features to find any caches in between the last one and this one, considering we go from the rubble pile all the way over to the bridge. Man, I talk a lot, don't I? Oh well, I'm sure you guys are used to it by now. Y'all been coming around for a minute. Gonna keep on moving, moving, moving. What do? You move, move. We are running with a pistol, a shrimp. Alright, so you're gonna cross underneath that first bridge. You're going to come up on all these little roads and little gates you have to jump over. You're going to jump over them and go to that second bridge. The second bridge is where this next cache is going to be, and it's actually going to be underneath of the bridge. You do have to crouch to get to it. It's a little funky. Even though there's clearly room for you to be standing up there, the game does make you crouch to get to this cache. When my friend first told me about it, I was brand new to the game. I didn't get the mechanics. Yes, my silly butt totally was like, I can't get it! So, like, right here, it's going to stop you walking. You just crouch. It'll allow you to get the rest of the way up there and hit that cache. So there you have another cache. I would recommend checking this on the way by it. I mean, there's quite a few things I would check on the way by. We haven't hit any yet. I will bring them up when we do hit them. But this is one of those things. I've gotten guns out of there and stuff. All those little green crates can have guns in them, helmets, little items. I have gotten a good M4 out of one, like, once. I think that was last wipe. But anyway, you're going to, once you hit that last cache under the bridge, go past that crane thing between the bus and the truck, go to this blue wall, and you will go between the blue wall and the tree, and you'll come to this bush. Past this little shack, on the way to Idea Front Entrance, you will find the next cache right next to the edge of this bush. Go ahead and grab your stuff. Our next cache location is going to be almost adjacent to that one, heading in front of Idea. That is going to be this huge bush here, and it's going to be just past it and inside of it. It's a little bit trickier than the last one to get. I'm not going to lie to you. The first couple times I tried to find it, I couldn't. But it is going to be literally like right in front of that post right there, right below the A. Right in front of the A on Idea, in front of these bushes, is going to be this next cache. Alright, so this next cache after that one is going to be back here behind this large sign on the way to power from front side of mall on the north side of the map. I wish I had a larger lung capacity so I didn't have to take huge breaths while explaining these things to you. It makes me sound a little weird. Anyway, easiest way to get to this next one is basically beelining it from that last cache straight to this sign, as we're doing now. Look at me run! I'm running, it's fun. I'm running, it's fun. Alright, so we're at the sign. Once you get to the sign, basically look directly north and run toward the edge of this hill. You're going to go right once you get to the edge of this hill and see these rocks. These rocks are going to contain that last Jaeger stash in this area of the map. It is a little bit of a tricky find. There it is. Because it blends in with the ground around it. So it's in between these big rocks close to this sign, and we have it right here. So we grab that one, and then we move on. The next couple caches are going to be back by power. There is one little spot you can check on the way back there, and there is going to be a little crate, a black weapons box there. That weapons box almost always has an Iskra lunchbox in it, along with chances of other loot spawns, from weapon parts to guns. We are going to migrate back toward power. There are going to be 2 more stashes back that way. Do 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 do. For those of you guys who don't know, Power Switch unlocks Kiba, and it unlocks Ultra Med, which we will do a video in the future for that. But I will do a quick glance at the power switch now, just to show those new inexperienced players where that power switch location is at. And we're actually going to do that before hitting the first cache. So the power switch for the mall is actually located inside of here. And right there. Once that is on, it gives you access to using your key at Kiba, using your key at Ultramed, along with 11SR/Safe Room Exfil. So, once you're back here at Power Station, the way to find the next cache is really, really, really easy. You just simply go over this at the front of Power Station. Right when you get over it, you're going to immediately bust a left and go back to these bushes. And inside of these bushes next to this shack is going to be a Jaeger Stash. So you guys get the loot out of that Jaeger Stash, enjoy that loot, and keep her moving. Once you guys get that one, your next stash is going to be on the other side of the little power station, past the blue fence up here. We're going to get our heinies moving that direction. That is right there. That is is it called Car Exfil? Power Station. That is Power Station Exfil, and we can only take that if there's a black SUV parked right there, and it does cost ruble. Alright, we're going to keep on going all the way past all of these. I don't know what these things are called, so for the sake of this video, we're going to call them Transformers. Or we could call them bunny ears. Or upside down robots. Get it? It's doing a handstand and that's its feet. Alright, so this last stash is going to be past this blue wall, all the way at the end past power. In the back here by these bushes. And that's going to be your next stash. That one's a little bit trickier to find. You kind of got to walk up on it to find it. So that's going to do it for the caches back here by power. Now we're going to migrate over toward Emercon Exfil location, and we have quite a few more to hit before we wrap around back to the front side of the mall where we spawned at, and that will conclude the video at that point. However, we do have a few more to show you guys to make your monies. So just so you guys know too, this is something that's good for both solo and duo players. There's enough going around the map from spawn to exfil. There should be enough loot in these caches for a duo team to leave the match full. Every now and then you may not get completely full from it, but it's for duos it's also a very, very good choice to make money. Me and Blaze actually as new players did this. This is the first map that I learned on. Most of you guys know Blaze. Big shout out to Blaze 101. Me and him did this as noobs almost every day, all day. We would just spawn, because we were new to mouse and keyboard as well when we came to Tarkov. So we would spawn into Interchange, run around the outskirts, get used to the mouse and keyboard, get used to the controls, and get used to the mechanics of the game. So whether you're brand new or you're just looking to make money, honestly, this really is a really good route to take and a good way to make money in Tarkov. It may take a little bit longer than running through customs, but it is much safer, and the survival rate on this run is much higher than a customs stash run. And in my experience, it's lower than a shoreline and woods as well. I get killed a lot in shoreline and woods for people going for shooterborn, where Interchange doesn't have shooterborn. With all that being said, we're going to go to our next cache location. It is going to be a Jaeger Cache. To orientate yourselves really quick, I'm looking at the mall, the back side of the mall. That is Emercon Exfil right there. This Jaeger Stash is going to be out here at this rock. It is one of the easiest stashes in this map to find because it is right there. Literally the only rock. Easy terrain feature to see, easy to spot, and once you run up, the barrel's not that well hidden either. It's pretty obvious via white rim. So, this is going to be your guys' next stash. Go ahead and grab your looties out of there, and we are going to get busting to the next two stashes. They are a Jaeger Stash and a wooden stash about 5 meters from each other, and that is going to be back over here on the south side of this mall. So coming down the bottom of this ramp, you're going to bust a UE, or coming from Emercon spawn, you can hit that cache first and then come over here and hit these caches. If you spawn Emercon, this is the route I would recommend taking, hitting that cache, hitting all these ones that I'm about to show you, and then over toward Railway Exfil and hitting the ones I showed you in the beginning of this video. These two caches are going to be relatively easy to find. All you have to do really is find this little small camp on the south side of the mall close to Emercon. Once you find this camp, you basically have found both of the caches. The first cache is going to be a Jaeger Cache behind this these boxes, and it's going to be right here in these bushes. Go ahead and grab your loot out of that one. The next one is going to be a wooden cache stash, and that I had to say that slow because it's a tongue twister. And that one is actually going to be next to this box and next to the bush. This one is one of the hardest ones on the map to find because of how well it is kind of hidden. Like, you really got to know it's here in order to find it. But it is right here next to this little covered tarped box. Once you grab those 2 caches, the next cache is going to be back up here toward this blue wall, and the next one is going to be a wooden stash. One of the things you can grab along the route is going to be this bag. There's a loose item spawn on the ground here and also a bag. The loose item spawn can be like food and like really low-end meds. I've gotten some before, and then there's that bag there. Now migrating toward the west side of the map, best way to find this one, it is a little bit trickier than most, is basically come to where this goes vertical. Once you get to where this rail is like lined up with the mall, or perpendicular with the mall, excuse me, you are going to pass the first set of trees and bushes. And at the second set of trees and bushes, that's how I remembered. Second set of trees and bushes going past perpendicular to that rail. You're going to come to this cache. Another way to orientate yourself, and when I was a new, someone tried to explain this to me. They tried to say basically there's 3 posts here, right? 1, 2, 3. Well, there's 3 rows of posts. They explained it to me by going to the center post and getting lined up with the center post, which would be right here, and it's next to the tree, next to the bush. So either perpendicular and two groups of bushes / trees down, or lined up center with these poles here and in the bush and next to the tree. And that's going to be the wooden stash. So this next cache, I don't want to say, I think it's a wooden stash. I don't want to say that for sure. But this one's I think this one's personally easy to find. My buddy had issues with it. I found it easy to find because there's 2 trees that look exactly identical next to each other. And that's how, to this day, that is how I find it. This is one little spot you can hit on the way to this next one. Loose item spawn in the chair, along with that bag there. Careful, don't get too close to the fire. It will hurt you, as you just seen. Alright, so these 2 trees that look almost like, right here, boom. Almost exactly identical. It is right in between these 2 trees. Now, a way my buddy remembered this is he would come out here and line up the red and green containers out here in this little container yard, and it's literally right next to it. So that's how he did it. How I did it is these 2 trees that are completely identical. While I was running along this wall, I would just keep my eye open for these trees and then run down and grab it. He used those containers to line it up. So once they're lined up, like make it just so that you can see the white on that container, and then boom, it's right there. Now this next container, or stash I should say, it is a Jaeger Stash. This one is one of the easiest, in my opinion, to remember, or excuse me, not remember. This is one of the easiest to find because it is exactly perpendicular with the guardrail on this road up here. The first few times I find it, I would literally just line myself up. I'd go and stand down there, and I would line myself up with that railing, and I would turn 180, and I would just hold straight. So as you see here, lined up with this rail, this guardrail, it's right here at this, between the small tree and the large tree on the ground, in between them, and that is also a Jaeger Stash. Alright, this second to last stash run is, I guess they're all well, I guess they're either easy to find or hard to find. This second to last stash is going to be at this giant sign. This is at the southwest side of the mall. Almost, let's see, I guess that'd be perpendicular. Almost straight shoot off of the corner of the mall to this sign. The cache is really easy to find. You just come to this giant, huge ultra sign that's literally bright and colorful at the top. And you go to the tree right next to it. The only tree inside of this huge cylinder at this sign is going to have a cache right next to it. So go ahead and grab your guys' loot out of that one. And then we are going to push all the way over here. This one, honestly, I would go to that big sign cache that we were just at and then come to this bus, and we'll go from there. Once you are at this bus, basically just line yourself up with this bus, run this way until you get to the ditch. Once you are at the ditch, this is the ditch, you're going to offshoot this direction. once you get to this tree, this is the only tree in the ditch, besides that one. This is the only tree in the ditch in this area, close to these walls. You're literally just going to step right over here. Boom. The last Jaeger Stash. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for the stash/money run. I really hope this is going to help you guys get your cache done. Once you guys get all these caches, get out. It's not worth it. Don't be greedy. Don't keep looking for extra stuff. Just get out and bank it. Alright guys, mad love. Goon Squad, if you guys like this video, if this helped you out, give me a thumbs up. And please shoot a subscribe on my YouTube channel. Also, you guys are always welcome to swing through the Discord. The Discord invitation is going to be stuckongoon.com/Discord. My Twitch is stuckongoon.com or twitch.tv/stuckongoon. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want, drop comments, questions, anything you guys want added, change to the video, let me know. Mad love, Goon Squad. Take it easy.